Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Shoot the Hoot Raw. I'm Chuck Taylor, co-founder and chief go-getter here at Cyberhoot. And folks, we've made it. The final episode of 2025. Can you believe it? 28 episodes we did this year. Now, full disclosure, I may be running on code meds, tea, and sheer willpower right now. So maybe I'm gonna be a little slower, a little off my game, but a true cybersecurity trooper, I wasn't about to let a little flu take this episode down. Because today's show is for anyone who's ever thought, wait, I thought that was automatic. You know who you are. Still chasing down completions, firing off reminders, and drowning in inbox mayhem like it's 2012. Today, we're blowing the lid off of the illusion of automation and showing you what real hands-off security looks like. We're diving into Autopilot, your behind-the-scenes wingman that trains your team, sends the nudges, logs the reports, does all of it without you hovering over a spreadsheet. So grab your coffee, or a vitamin C booster in my case, stretch out those clicking fingers, and get ready to set it and secure it, because this episode is automation magic without the smoke and the mirrors. Let's check out today's flight plan. All right, here's what we've got on deck today. Buckle up, because this ride is on autopilot, literally. We have a 5-minute rant on the automation illusion. We're kicking things off with a little tough love, because a lot of vendors say they automate, but let's be real, it could be better. We'll talk about why halfway automation leaves you doing all the heavy lifting, how autopilot flips that script for you. Then our Cyberhoot nerd update. What's new in the lab? So what's fresh out of our Hoot labs today? A couple little updates to make autopilot even smoother. So not a huge update today, but something. Then open mic Q&A. You can ask us anything. It's your time to shine, whether you've got questions about automations, features, or why Carl has 147 unread emails from 2022. We're here for it. We're here for it. Send it out to us. Then, lastly, our Hoot-worthy horror story. Set it and forget to set it. Yep, this one's real. A city thought they had automated training in place until someone clicked the link and they were out 6 figures. Sorry, Siri was talking to me. All right, so this story here, it was painful, it was preventable, and it's the perfect way to drive home today's lesson. So let's roll into it. Let's talk about the automation illusion. A lot of platforms claim to automate cybersecurity training. When you look closer, you're stuck nudging users yourself, pulling reports, or manually following up, and sifting through hundreds of training choices just to get started. Even basic things like dark web reports or phishing follow-ups, not included, or they're buried under settings somewhere. Automated has become code for less manual, but that's not good enough anymore. Because when one click can lead to a breach, close enough can cost you everything. So Autopilot flips that script, giving you the real hands-on automation across training, phishing, dark web scans, reporting, nudges, the works, you name it. And when it's this easy to set up, there's no reason to settle for almost. So let's see how Autopilot automates. Let's be honest. Automation is one of those words vendors love to throw around. Oh, automation, 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 right? But when you dig into it, you're still stuck chasing users, yanking reports, and playing traffic cop when something goes sideways. Don't get me started on setup. Half the time, you're buried under 200 training modules trying to figure out which ones even make sense. That's not automation. That's delegation to you, right? At Cyberhoot, we built Autopilot to be different. Set it once, and it just runs. Training goes out, reports get delivered, alerts show up. No drama, no detective work, just security that moves as fast as your business does. So that's enough talk for now. Let's show you what real automation looks like. Time to fire up Autopilot and see how easy it is to go from 0 to fully automated in minutes. It's demo time. All right, I'm gonna remove my slides. I'm gonna add my screen to the stage, and I'm gonna take myself off here so you can see this kind of full screen. Okay, so we're in Autopilot. This is my Power Up demo site. So I'm gonna show you real fast how easy it is to add a tenant. All right, so I think we can do this. I think we can add an individual tenant or customer in under 7 minutes. Let's see if we can make that happen. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go into my timer. I'm gonna start it just so you can see. Boom. Oh, can you see? Yeah, you can see. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna go ahead and hit start on this. I'm gonna show you how to add a tenant. See if we get it done under 7 minutes. Let's see. Here we go. So click on add tenant. Really, really simple, right? So my tenant name, I'll call this CH Fun. fun. And I'll be the we'll do support at cyberhoot.com, and different languages you can support here. I'll do English. HR person, oh, that'll be me. I like coming down on people if I have to. Email address, and we're going to go cyberhoot.com. Very simple. This is a primary tenant domain. We're going to do dark web searches, all kinds of stuff on that guy. Now, it's really basic information for general, right? Local managers. Now, we can create our own local managers and add more in here if we want. Maybe I'll add one just to have fun. I have myself, Chuck Taylor, Chuck at cyberhoot.com. This allows us to do local management, but we're going to sit with Doodle today, so we don't really need this. I'm going to show you how to do that real fast. Now, this is where the training magic comes in. There's no, okay, I've turned everything on. Now where I go to select everything. This is really, really simple. You want videos train to go out? That's good. Let's start that out on January the 5th, the first Monday in January, right? And I want to make my foundational training go out once a day. I want it then done as fast as I possibly can. And then they'll go out once a month after that. Score, that's a win. Next, Hootfish, right? I want to turn on Hootfish, our patent pending technology for positive reinforcement fish testing. Turn that on, but guess what? I like to do these trainings twice. I like to have 2 trainings a month, not twice, excuse me. 2 trainings a month. Video trainings the first week of the month, Hootfish training the 3rd week of the month. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to space this out, start that one on the 19th. That way I did a video the first week, I did a Hootfish the 3rd week. That's a winning combination. I'll put this down to monthly. Now that these things going, I could select every other month or quarterly, but I like monthly for these first 2. Now attack fish. Now attack fish, I've mentioned it before. Attack fish is not training, it's testing. You might want to do that. I like to be able to say, when you do the attack fish testing, give them a heads up that's coming out. So this is what I like to do. I'll turn this on. I usually put it a few months out, maybe to mid-June, June 1st. I like that. I want to test them on everything. You know what? Attackers are going to throw everything at them. Let's turn it on. Now I want that to go out semi-annually. I'm going to do it twice a month. And I'm going to turn on some advanced settings here, because what I want to do is I want to know when this thing's going to be going out. So alert me 7 days in advance, right? And yep, alert me. And what'll happen is 7 days in advance, I get an email that says, hey, you have an attack fish starting. That way I can go out to my team and go, look, just so you guys know, we're going to be sending out a test real fast for fish testing. Don't worry about it if you don't catch it. But if you do catch it, hit that report fish button. Let us know and get a few extra points. Win, win, win. If you fail it, no worries. We'll do you a little bit more training. Not a problem. We're trying to see how effective our training is. Super, super, super simple, right? And then auto-assign training. Yes, I want my training to go out. If someone clicks on a link, I want them to auto-assign a training. It'll auto-assign the video training to them. It'll also auto-assign the Hootfish that matches that attack fish. So this is just a win-win-win. All right, dark web. Yeah, I want dark web reporting. Of course I do, right? So I'll turn that on. And guess what? Yeah, I do have another domain I want to put in here, ch.com. I'll throw that in. So now I'll get a report every Monday on anything new that's found on those domains or any email addresses that are in the platform. Custom hoots. I'm not doing anything custom right now, so we're going to let that one ride. Next, here, enable the user welcome email. Yes, I want an email to go out to my user and add it to the platform. Of course I do. Send an automatic one out so they know what's happening. Let's see. I do want my CyberRanks leaderboard. I want to show that leaderboard, and I also want to allow them to train with friends. Fun stuff. Compliance assurance settings, sure. 3 times. Make them take at least 3 times or pass. I like that. Branding. I'm not going to change the logo, but I will change the color because I'm feeling a little bit frisky, I guess. I don't know what we want to call that. We'll change that. Now I'm just going to review this guy. It looks good to me, and I'm going to add that tenant. Now, adding that tenant, takes a couple seconds. It's going to create that backend database structure. It's going to create the schedule. It's doing a ton of work right now on the back end. And there we go. But guess what? We're not done yet. We do see we have a schedule in place, so that's cool. Here's our video schedule. Here's our Hootfish schedule. You can see everything that's going to be going out. But just what we have to do next. Obviously, we have to next add users. Let's add some users. Now, you can add via Enter ID, Google, individual users, or CSV upload. I'm going to go with Google, right? So going with Google here, I'm going to grant Google access. Sure, Chuck at Cyberhoot, you look pretty good. I'll allow that access. Let's make this happen. Come on, Doodle, work with me. Here we go. Next, we don't want to sync. I want to sync in all users. Exclude suspended users. I don't want anybody who's suspended, right? Never a good thing to be suspended, right? Sync Google Manager. Sure, pull the manager. And now, if I want to, I could set myself as a catch-all manager. Remember we set that when we were setting up the tenant? Catch-all manager is in there. Next, now we can do this via users, individual users that's synced, or by groups. Whatever you want to do. I'm just going to sync all users. You can also turn them off by doing that, but we're going to sync all users. We hit next. It syncs those users into the platform. Let's go. Sync. There we go. Got it. Users are synced into the platform now. Okay, all right, I said under 7 minutes. We're at 5 minutes and 8 seconds. The users are in the platform. What do we have to do next? Nothing. Nothing. It's done. Just like that, trainings are going to go out on the first Monday of the month, January 5th, and then hoopers go out the third week of the month. And look, we added a tenant, a platform, users, managers, training, dark web, attack fish testing, you name it. And we did it all in 5 minutes and 13 seconds, right? Now that's fast. Now I've done some white level onboardings with some of our partners, and they can't believe how fast it is to set this up and get running with a tenant. I was meeting with one of our partners yesterday, and he said, I added the tenant, and I added the users, and what do I have to do now? I just email started going out. What do I have to do? What do I select? I'm like, you don't have to. We don't delegate to you. We give you the training. Now there's a full custom hoot side of the house if you want to do some custom stuff, for sure. But if not, you don't have to do any of that. So over here to the whole CH fund, and you can go in here and look at all the automation that you have in place. Now this is my demo environment, and you know me, I don't like to crowd up my environment spaces and all that jazz. So I'm gonna archive this, and that way no other training or anything goes out. Get rid of that real fast. All right. So that is Autopilot. That is automation. That is how you quickly add a tenant in under 7 minutes. So 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Pretty good. Right? So let's go back over here. Where did we leave off? Okay. So, excuse me. And just like that, you're flying hands-free. It was super simple. But while Autopilot is keeping things smooth, our dev team's been under the hood tuning that Autopilot engine, making it sharper, run faster. It's revving up like I don't know what. Let's check out what's new in this week's Cyberhoot Nerd Update. But before that, I don't want to forget this here. We have our Automate 10. You want to save 10% on your next invoice? Go to your banner here. Boom, let's turn this on. Send that Automate 10 to shootthehoot@cyberhoot.com and receive 10% off your next invoice. Type it in, click send, and get that 10. And if you're watching this after the fact, send it in anyway. I may just give you that 10% off, even if it's somebody else has already got it. I'm that type of guy. Send it in. All right? Boom. All right, our nerd update. Here we go. So the nerd update. Yes. This is one of those weeks. Only 2 updates on the slide. Wah, wah, wah. I know. Hold, let me. I probably have an appropriate sound for this. Let's see. Oh, I'll do a punch. Okay, that sounds good. And then we got only 2. I know, Chuck. It's pretty bad. Only 2. I know. But it's not because we're lazy or not lazy. It's because the team has been heads down, goggles on, caffeinated, and deep in custom fishing land as we wrap up the year. So what did make the cut this week? First, we fixed an issue where Hootfish email body wasn't showing during assignments or simulations, which turns out is kind of important, right? When the whole goal is learning to read the email. So yeah, that one's fixed. Second, we squashed a small but annoying compliance bug that was showing 0% compliance before users even had a chance to take their training. No more, you failed before you started energy. We're not into that. That's not our that kind of thing's not my bag, baby, right? That's not me. So short list this week, but for a good reason. We've been pouring a ton of effort into custom fishing improvements and buttoning things up as we close out this year strong. And trust me, the payoff is coming. But now, on to our Q&A. Okay, it's your turn. It's your turn. Your turn to take the mic, whether it's about setting up Autopilot, customizing training schedules, or just figuring out where that one report lives or hides. This is your moment. Drop your questions in the chat, shout them out live, or send them to us in an encrypted owl message. Whatever works. No judgment, no dumb questions, just answers, feathers, and the occasional Carl joke. All right? So let's see. Now, I'm not expecting a whole lot of participation this week, especially with the holidays going on, but all right, like any other time, if you don't have any questions for me, I'll throw some questions out, some general questions that we've heard before. Boom. First one. Can I really onboard a new tenant and have training rolled in under 10 minutes? Yes, you can. We just showed that. I was able to, since Autopilot is the setup is so streamlined, you can import users, select your training cadence, and let Autopilot just take over. It's not just possible, it's our normal. We even time ourselves doing it. You saw it took me 5 minutes and 13 seconds to add a tenant, to add training, to sync with Google, to do all that work. Boom, done. All right. Next question. Can I miss training types and automated schedules like Hootfish and video? Absolutely, and we showed that too. You can rotate your assignment types monthly. One month might be a phishing simulation, and next might be a video training. Or, like I showed in the demo, swap them every 2 weeks, right? So you get 2 trainings a month. Video trainings out the first week, and the Hoot Fish trainings out the third week. This is a winning combo. This is my favorite. This is what I highly recommend. Did that video training keep cybersecurity at the top and the forefront of their minds, right? And then the Hoot Fish, more than 89% of the tasks come in through email. Boom, send out the Hoot Fish to them every third week of the month. This is how you do. This is a winning combo. This is how you train. This is how you keep cybersecurity at the front and forefront of people's minds. And it keeps things fresh, and it reinforces learning without all the overload. These trainings, the video training takes about 4 minutes to do, 5 minutes to do, and the Hoot Fish takes about 2 to 3 minutes to do. Simple, 10 minutes of training a month, and your users are smarter, wiser, more cyber aware. All right, next question. Boom. What happens if someone misses a training? Do I have to chase them down? Okay, so no. Short answer is nope, nope, nope. That's what our train nudges are for. Autopilot automatically reminds users until they complete the assignment. No nagging required, unless you want to send Carl a friendly nudge, right? Now, we give users a few polite nudges. There are a couple of not so subtle nudges. And then when they still ghost us, HR steps in, they get a final, and that final nudge, we copy HR on it, and they step in with a digital version of the shoulder tap and the eyebrow. I can't do the rock eyebrow, but they'll give them one of those. And then you can also go into the platform yourself at any time and push out reminders as well. It's up to you. So pushing out reminders and stuff, super simple, super easy, automated, but you can also go in and manually push it out as well. All right, so, all right, you've seen the automation magic, right? And now it's time for us to take a look at what happens when the magic is missing. So buckle up, it's story time. Okay. Set it and forget to set it. The Baltimore County wake-up call. So what happened just before Thanksgiving in 2020? Baltimore County Public Schools were preparing for a long weekend. The teachers, the students, the staff, all thinking of what? Turkey, right? Not threat actors. And that's when it struck. A single contractor received an email. It looked official. It was routine. It was ... wrong. They clicked, and just like that, chaos pursued. Servers locked. Personal data got breached. Lessons canceled. Recovery efforts that cost them millions. At first, fingers pointed at ransomware, at malware, those usual subjects, or usual suspects, excuse me. But when the Inspector General's report came out, the story got worse. Turns out, the phishing email wasn't some genius hacker masterpiece. It was basic, and someone opened it. But here's the real kicker. The district had cybersecurity training. They thought they were protected, but the platform was set to deliver it once and never again. It's like taking your medicine once a year and hoping to get over your illness. It doesn't work. So in this scenario, there were no reinforcements. There were no reminders. There was no automatic reassignment. It was just a one and done. The attack exposed a very painful truth. Even well-meaning training efforts fail without continuity. Automation only helps when it's actually configured, and if it's not ongoing, just a false sense of security. This wasn't a failure of technology. It was a failure of follow-through. Because the only thing worse than not having training is thinking you do when it's long expired. Cyber's Autopilot was built for this exact reason. Not to check bots once, but to reinforce again and again and again. Because the threat doesn't stop, so neither should the training. And that, my friends, is what happens when automation is an afterthought. But today's episode was all about putting it front and center. So let's land this plane and recap what we've learned. Let's hit the highlights before we shut it down for the year, okay? We started with a simple truth. Most vendors talk about automation, but very few deliver in a way that actually saves you time. Cyber's Autopilot, it's the real deal. Hands-free, high impact, and built to keep your team trained without all the babysitting. We showed off how easy it was to onboard a new tenant, automate training assignments, and trust that your users are getting what they need when they need it. The Nerd Update gave us a peek behind the curtain. Smaller release this week, but that's because the team's been hard at work upgrading our custom phishing modules and preparing for big things in 2026. To give you guys some heads up, we're starting to build out an assessment module. So we can actually test your users to kind of go along with that fish testing, the attack fish. We're going to be building some assessment modules into the platform and automating all that as well. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to get it out there. Finally, we saw what happens when automation is missing in action, like in Baltimore County. where the illusion of training left the door wide open for attackers. So don't let "we thought it was automatic" be your team's last words. So that's a wrap for this episode and for 2025. From all of us at Cybersecurity, thank you for flying with us this year. We'll be back in January with more laughs, learning, live demos. Happy holidays to you. Until we meet again, I want you to laugh, I want you to learn, and I want you to hoot up. Hoot up.